Chicago versus Minneapolis. Who is really at the top of the Midwest? Chicago is by far the biggest city and metro in the Midwest and one of the biggest in the country. But it is famously struggling with a stagnant population and economy. Whereas Minneapolis, based on some of my recent analysis, is doing pretty well in several aspects. So let's do the internet's favorite activity and compare two things to one another. And let's start with population growth. Chicago's growth was very strong up until 1970, but like most of the Midwest, crashed from foreign manufacturing competition. And over the past 50 years, the population has actually decreased almost 8%, so it never really recovered in that regard. Minneapolis, on the other hand, experienced the same downturn in 1970, but it was very short-lived, and has since grown a whopping 32% since. That being said, neither city is keeping up with the nation's growth. In terms of economic growth, Minneapolis for the most part keeps up with the nation up until recently. Chicago, on the other hand, is consistent in both growth and that it consistently underperforms the nation. But since 2020, Chicago has definitely done better performance-wise, and it seems like Minneapolis is struggling to perform after the population exodus caused by COVID. In terms of industries that are fueling that growth, Minneapolis has a strong presence in high-paying industries like professional and management services, finance, and even manufacturing. Chicago, on the other hand, does have a higher presence in those industries, but not nearly as high as Minneapolis. Which simply tells me that Minneapolis' recent economic growth struggles stems from their population decline. At the end of the day, they are both great cities to live in. Chicago will provide a huge city experience while also being mostly affordable. And Minneapolis is a mid-sized city that makes it possible to live a stable and comfortable life. But the biggest issue with both of these cities, coming from someone who's lived in the South their entire lives, is that they're really, really cold. How does your city compare? You can check your city's data right now on ursus.com and be sure to follow for more data content.